Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexis. This is my second video. I just wanted to do an introduction video. I went on social media and I asked everyone to ask me an anonymous question about being transgender right now. Okay, so the first question, what can I do to be a good ally at work? All right, that is like my favorite question ever. More people need to ask those questions. Basically, just get to know them, be welcoming, embrace them, make them feel like they're safe at work, because, I'm a fortunate person that I have a employer who is really LGBTQ friendly and my coworkers are amazing. But I know not everyone has that. So, I would say just be open, listen to them, talk with them, and get to know their vibe, because we are people, we are your coworkers, we are your neighbors, we're your relatives, So, just be welcoming, and just make them feel at home, make them know that you're safe with them. And if you see anything, like anyone's being rude towards them or disrespectful, then say something, if you see something, say something. And I think just be a good friend and talk with them, get to know them, because we are people. All right, perfect. Have you seriously considered leaving the US? If so, which trans-friendly country would you choose to live in? All right, so I'm gonna give the boring vanilla answer here and say Canada. Mainly because it's attached by land and you could get there, and I just want to be within traveling distance from my family and friends. Canada, I know it's boring. I'm sorry. Okay. At what age did you know you were a girl? Okay, so that is it was kind of like an evolution, honestly. Like, I first knew something was up when I was 4 or 5, when I wanted to play with the dolls and the girls at school, and they're like, no, you gotta play with the boys, you gotta play with blocks and trucks and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of just like repressed that for a couple years, and then I think I mentioned this in my previous video, when I saw Rent for the first time and I saw the character Angel, I'm just like, whoa, like that like blew my mind. I'm like, what, I need to know more about this, and experimenting with gender and getting to know myself and gender identity and expression, it really, Angel was such a huge inspiration. That's still my favorite musical ever. I love Rent. And I kind of repressed that for a couple more years until I want to say I was like 17 and I was away at school. In 2015, I really started to come to terms with my identity. I kind of realized then that it was something that was never going to go away, that this was something I had to deal with and something I had to work with. And so 17 I knew, and then I want to say towards the early part of COVID, that's when I really knew that, okay, I have to do something now or I'm not going to make it. Like, I had to do it for me and for myself. And it's one of the best decisions I ever made. And I have no regrets. I actually like who I am. So, but when I was 17, I was like, okay, this is not going away. This is going to happen. And then during COVID early on, I was just like, okay, we got to do something here, because you're locked alone with your thoughts and your feelings and everything. You were so closed off from the outside world. I was like, okay, I got to do this. There's no more putting this off any longer. Like, I'm going to die if I don't do this. Now, all right, next question. This one I get a lot. Is there anything you could do to make your voice sound more feminine, or did you transition too late in life and stuck with a deep masculine voice? Anyways, okay, so that is a interesting question, because for me, well, first stems off with, I have some vocal cord damage from COVID. I had COVID 3 times, fully vaccinated, boosted, still had it 3 times, So I went through it, and, I used to have a wonderful singing voice, and I can't really sing anymore. It kind of hurts. So, modulating my voice and making it do different things hurts my throat, and everyone was saying if it hurts with voice training. So I was trying to do voice training, I was watching videos and everything, I was trying to practice. And I still try to practice, but sometimes it just hurts, because my vocal cords are just like from COVID, and I definitely did not transition too late. I transitioned at, I think, a pretty good time. I was 23 when I started transitioning, so at that point my voice had gotten to where it had been. But I never really considered myself to have like too deep a voice. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't really bother me too much. It seems to give more people dysphoria about me than it gives me. And like with that, it's like, I do want to work on it. It's something I am working on. Like, I'm thinking of maybe doing a video where I do like a little progress timeline of how my voice changes if I actually, for real, like sit down and pedal to the metal and do this. Like, I'm thinking about it, because it just seems to bother more people than it bothers me, but it really doesn't bother me. It's my voice, it's who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. So yeah, so it's never too late. Was your family fully supportive of your transition to becoming a woman? Yeah, so again, got really fortunate here that my family was very accepting and embraced me. I have a really great relationship with my mom. She's literally like my best friend, and they all accept me for who I am. They knew I was always different. You know, I'd gone through phases and everything, and it was like, but in the end, you know, my family came through for me, and I'm extremely grateful because they really like, I would not have made it without them, because my family and I are very, very close. And without their love and support, I don't know what I would do. And it absolutely breaks my heart that so many people get the complete opposite reaction from their family. You know, like in terms of my family, they were all very accepting. Waited a little bit to tell my dad because, you know, we just weren't sure with how he would react. And then luckily, he's been really good with it. He's come a long way. And my sister has been like my number one ally. She's like always like, if my parents or anyone messes up my pronoun, she calls it out immediately. And she's been a really big inspiration to me and my sister, and so is my mom. You know, I have two very strong, powerful women in my family, and I always looked up to them for guidance and admiration. And honestly, I feel like my relationship with my mom and my relationship with my sister has gotten so much better since I started transitioning, because I feel like I could like, we're on similar wavelengths now, if that makes sense. You know, we still have our arguments and disagreements, but my family's been really great. My aunts and uncles and cousins, and friends, everyone's been super great. I've really been lucky with how everyone's reacted. So yeah, really great family. I love them so much. Do you still have to take hormone shots? Yes, I do. I will have to take those for the rest of my life. I don't have any organs producing estrogen, so I have to take my injections weekly. I also take testosterone blockers, and I take progesterone. I mean, everyone's dosage timeline is different, like their dosage, how frequently they take it, that's all different for everyone. So that's not medical advice right there. I'm not giving medical advice. But yeah, I have to take those shots every week for the rest of my life. And honestly, I've gotten so comfortable with it that it's kind of like, it's weird. Like if I go get blood work done or get like a shot or whatever, it hurts me more than when I'm injecting myself with my estrogen. I think it's because like you kind of have control over it a little bit. So I don't know. It might just be in my head. Okay. Was it hard for you to find love after you transitioned? Honestly, like, I thought I was gonna have trouble finding love. I was in my first relationship since I came out about a month and a half after I came out publicly. And then after that ended, I took like a break for a year and a half or so of just not dating anyone. I was like out of the game. And then I was in my last relationship with another trans woman for a little over a year. And it really wasn't too hard finding love. I actually feel like I kind of like am more comfortable loving another person as myself, as Alexis, because like I couldn't be the man in a relationship. Like that was just never gonna work. Like, and I'm attracted to cis women, trans women, and it really wasn't too hard finding love. I'm currently single right now. Anyways, yeah, so it wasn't too hard. I've been in 2 longer term relationships since I came out, which have been the longest ones in my life, and I feel more comfortable loving another person and caring for another person as myself. So yeah, it wasn't too hard. Okay, so that's all the questions I got for today. I had a couple more, but they were like really creepy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I really appreciate it, getting the word out that this channel is becoming a thing, and I will get better at this. I'm like, it's a work in progress. So for those of you who sticking with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.